In America, over 4.4 million people have quit their jobs in 2021, and that number is climbing even coming into 2022. There's a worldwide revolution happening in the workplace, and my guess is if you've come across this video, you've been debating whether or not you want to take part in that revolution. Stick around because today I'm going to be sharing 6 coaching questions that will help you determine whether or not you should resign for your job, switch careers, or maybe even start your own business. Before we go ahead and dive in, if you already know that you want to resign your job so that you can start your own business, but you're stuck on where to start, then I've got a free resource for you that'll help you with that. It's a free training and it walks you through everything that you need to know. So to find out exactly how to join, be sure to stick around to the end of the video. So the million-dollar question is, how do you decide whether or not it's time to quit your job and join the Great Resignation? I know exactly how hard this is because at one point in time, I made the same decision to step down from being the third generation running my family's business as senior vice president and to go off and start my own. It's a really tough decision. So go ahead, pull up a chair, grab a notebook, because I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 questions that I ask myself so that you too can decide whether or not this is a decision that you're ready to make. I wasn't kidding before when I said grab a notebook. So I want you to grab a notebook. I'm going to ask you questions and journal out everything that comes up for you. Don't censor yourself. I really want you to answer these questions intuitively. If it's helpful, feel free to pause this video while you reflect and really think through your answers to these questions because that's where the real beauty in this process is. So let's go ahead and jump in. So question number 1, why do you want to quit your job? Now, this answer is going to be different for each individual. Just for, providing an example, I'm going to share what my reasons were when I made this decision. I really was in a place in my life that I needed more freedom and flexibility in my role and in my work. When I made this decision, I had become a single mother and I was struggling trying to find the balance between being able to be home for my infant, at the time, son, and being able to dedicate all the time and attention I needed in my career. So that was my primary reason. Question number 2, what is it in your current career that you're currently not getting? So for me, freedom and flexibility obviously was a factor. So one of the things I was not getting was the flexibility to have different types of work hours and work schedules. Commuting in particular was a huge challenge for me. I was spending over 20 hours a week just commuting to my job. So I was paying somebody to watch my son, the equivalent of a part-time salary while I commuted to my full-time job. That was a huge factor for me. So I wasn't getting the ability to be able to work the hours I needed and to have flexibility to be able to work from home if necessary. Question number 3, what is it of what you're not getting that you might be able to negotiate with your employer? So this one was a big one for me. I, up to this point, had done a very good job negotiating for what I needed. My circumstances were very unique. I was working in my family's business, and they did tend to be more flexible with me than some other employees. However, I was not necessarily in a position where I had the ability to make overarching changes to the way that the company as a core functioned, especially when it came to time with work and flex work. That was not a decision that I was able to make, and somebody else had decided, no, I'm sorry, we are unable to be able to accommodate that based on the way that the business was built. I had done as much as I possibly could to be able to negotiate, and I knew that I was basically at the end of the road and I was going to have to make a decision either way, whether or not that was something I was willing to sacrifice at that time or if I needed to find another solution. I've got another 3 questions to ask you, but before we dive in, I really wanted to know, if you could be paid to do anything and money was absolutely no object, what is it that you would be doing? Go ahead and comment below. I'd love to know. Question number 4, and really be honest with yourself with this. If given a choice, would you rather continue to work for somebody else or would you rather work for yourself? Now, this is really a defining question. And again, everybody is going to be different. For me, I knew at this point in my career, after, essentially running a business for 15 years, that when I moved on to the next thing, that working for somebody else was going to be very difficult. So I knew that moving forward, I was probably going to want to explore starting my own business. Maybe you're in a very different scenario. Maybe you feel much more comfortable working for somebody else who's more or less guiding the shots, but you're having your own specific mark on the work that you do, right? And you still have that level of fulfillment. So it's really important to get clear on this question before we move forward. Question number 5. If you do want to work for yourself, why is that? Conversely, you could look at this, why do I want to work for myself, or why don't I want to work for myself? The question still applies, and it's really important. Let's say that you're in the boat that you do want to work for yourself. Why? So one thing I will tell you right off the bat is if the reason why you want to work for yourself is because you one day envision yourself to be sitting on a beach, sipping Mai Tais, that's the core focus of why you want to do it, you're going to be in for a really rude awakening. If your why is more in that you know that you're meant to fulfill a purpose, you know that you're meant to do something more with your experience, your skills, your talents, your value. You want to feel like you're moving towards, making the world a better place, and having a business is a vehicle to do that, then you're in a much, much better position to be able to do it. If you just want to be sitting on the beach drinking Mai Tais, honestly, you might be better served getting another job where you're able to work remotely. And also, if you don't want to work for yourself, get clear on why. There's no wrong reasons for this. Maybe it's because you prefer the structure of being told what to do each and every day. Maybe you don't want the responsibility. Maybe you don't want the pressure. Really be honest with yourself, especially if you're if you're in between, not knowing whether you want to work for somebody else or work for yourself. These are questions you really need to get clear on. So really figure out why. Number 6 is definitely the most important question out of everything that I'm asking today. Are you currently, that's the key word, currently financially secure and in a position to make a change? This is so important because if you make a change and you are not financially secure, you are setting yourself up for so much stress and unnecessary anxiety that you don't need in your life. Speaking for myself, I know when I finally made the decision, I was in a place where financially, even as a single mother, I was able to make this sort of a change. I had 6 months worth of emergency savings, which I decided to coin using them as it was an emergency of my soul. I decided to leverage those savings to be able to pivot out of my career and use them to start up my own business. But the same thing applies too if you're looking to switch careers. You want to make sure, especially if you're looking to quit ASAP, that you have the financial resources to be able to carry yourself and your family should you have time in between finding what the next opportunity is going to be that's going to be a good fit for you. So definitely make sure you are financially secure now, as opposed to can be financially secure, because that's ultimately what's going to guide your immediate decision. So the good news is if you answered yes to number 6, you're really in a position that you can make a change immediately as soon as you wanted to. So whether it be, finding another career or starting your own business, you could do so confidently. If your answer to number 6 was no, then this isn't the end of the road for you. You could still do so, but you need to create some sort of a plan to become financially secure before you make any kind of a big change. If you want some support with this, I definitely recommend check out my goal setting video and create that plan and determine for yourself what amount of money you need to feel financially secure so that you then have more options to you moving forward. So if the reason that you came across this video is because you've been seriously considering whether or not you should quit your job so that you can start a business, then I have a free training that can help you out with that. Click the link below in the description to sign up for the next training, and I look forward to seeing you there. If you liked what you learned in this video, definitely be sure to check out these videos next. And if you really found value in it, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I'll see you next time.